eat the last thing, and I have some questions for you.
Oh, good. Well, I have my mouth.
Because people do write in with questions. My knives are terrible, but I don't want to spend a lot of money on new ones. The internet says a good knife says good knife costs over $100. The internet says a lot of things. Two things I would say to this. One is, there's no way good knives are only over $100. Like, that's ridiculous to me. You can get a great knife for between $20 and $50. Also, your knife is gonna last for a while if you treat it right, so it's gonna be a good investment. This knife here is I think the Cook's Illustrated best knife that they have. It's, I think, $40. It's a great knife. It's like super easy and simple, and it's got this very industrial plastic grip. The internet says a good knife costs over $100.
Victorinox, baby.
Same knife I have at home. This is what it is. I give it to people as housewarming gifts. If they don't have a knife that I think is nice enough, I give them this $40 knife. So you don't have to spend $100 or over $100 on a knife. You can, and oftentimes there are fantastic knives for over $100. So if I have any relatives who want to give me a nice new knife, great. But this knife I've had for years and it's fantastic.
And of course, this knife, which is a Henkel knife, this is an expensive knife. This is a $100 knife. However, if you are willing to put your name on a list with, say, Cook's Illustrated or Food 52, they have these wonderful sales. So I got this $100 and some odd knife for $50.
What was the other part of the question? Oh, my knives suck. I think they're just maybe dull or maybe bent over. What I mean by bent over is right here there's the knife that goes up. And as you cut it, as you cut along, as you slice along, as you chop along, the blade actually bends like this or the other direction. My fingers don't go the other direction. And so what it ends up doing is hitting this part, and so it's not as sharp. That you just hone it to come back up, and that will make it seem so much sharper, even if it's not, because it's not actually dull, it's just kind of curved over a bit. This is a honing steel. The way I use it is I just put it down on a cloth or something, or a cutting board, something that's not gonna slip, and then take between 15 and 20 degrees across, down. And what you're doing is you're realigning from the heel to the tip, this back up when you're doing this. People do this very quickly, people do this a lot. And you can feel if one side is worse than the other. And a lot of famous chefs, and I think of the opening credits of Gordon Ramsay's, one of his shows, Kitchen Nightmares or something. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And all I can think is, your hand is right there. What are you doing? It has this little stopper thing, but it's a little stopper thing. Oh my God, that guard. So anyway, I go this way. Now, if your knife, like this one, is actually dull, not just bent over, but actually dull, the best thing to get is a real electric knife sharpener. They make manual ones, and that's great, but I have found that this one is fantastic. It has a coarse, a fine, and then one of those straightener things. And after you sharpen your knife, it should just cut right through. Look at that. Look how skinny that piece is. A sharp knife, no matter the brand, should be able to do this.